All right, so I just wanted to send a quick little video on Franklin's out and just a couple other things. So you'll see behind me there's a bunch of dog food bags, and then my lunch is over there, like the empty container for my lunch, and then there's a dog treat training pouch. Oh my, I can't talk. It's not because I'm a slob, it's because they're booby traps for Franklin. So I just wanted to work on, or kind of demonstrate me working on his out. So his out is going to be, or I guess I should say the command out is going to be telling him, asking him to disengage from whatever resource that he has. So that can be a person, it could be you, it could be another person. It can be something that you don't want him to have on the ground. It could be something that he's kind of investigating and you don't want him to get into. Whatever it is, like maybe he's taken a toy, toilet paper roll, whatever, just making things up. So right now, I want to, in a controlled environment, get him understanding the muscle memory of what that out means. So prior to this week, what really all I was doing was I would say the word out and I would toss the piece of food away from me so he'd get the muscle memory of moving away from me. And now I'm kind of switching that over to moving away from something else. So I have all these things, I'm just gonna I'm gonna release him from his down stay, and we're gonna walk around, and when he goes to investigate these things, I'm going to give him the out command. If he doesn't do it, then I'm just gonna give him a little bit of leash pressure towards me, and then YES when he moves away from it, and reward him for that. So what I have is hopefully higher value than what that is, and those are just empty things. I mean, there's dog food in those bags, but he's not gonna ever really be able to get into them and taste it. Something else that I've done earlier this week was I had a bowl of food on the ground, or excuse me, a bowl on the ground, and I would put like like 2 or 3 kibbles in it, and then right as he finished it, I would say that OUT word. There's nothing there left to eat, so he would very willingly disengage from that and run back to me because he knows that I do have something really good. So I would then reward him with the treats that I use, which are just hot dogs. Excuse me. So again, teaching him that muscle memory. So that's kind of how we got to this point where we are now. And I'm gonna go over a little bit of what his e-collar and stuff too. We're not quite there yet. I'm not using that with this exercise at all. So I'm just gonna kind of demonstrate as soon as he shows a little bit of interest in these things, I'm going to use that OUT, reward him for coming back to me, and then releasing and letting him go back and do his own thing. This is something, again, that this is a controlled environment where I know that I'm going to be successful. And I encourage a lot of this type of practice so that way there's not a lot of conflict when he is a little bit more invested in whatever it is that he's showing interest in. So if it's something where he's like, I'm already eating it, or he's jumping up on the counter and he's trying to steal something, those are going to be those are situations where he's very unlikely to disengage from just a verbal cue. So the more practice that we have with situations where he's like, I don't really care about that, down, good, then you just create that really nice muscle memory, and that success rate is going to ensure that there is reliability in that cue. Okay, so just let him walk around, and as soon as he sniffs in them, out! Yep, good boy, good job, okay. Out! Yep, good. He doesn't have to immediately run back. I mean, hopefully you're seeing what he's doing because that thing is following me around. Let me switch it to where it's not following me because I don't care about seeing me. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know if that's gonna work. We'll just do my face. All right. Okay. Out. Yep. Good boy. Good job. Very nice. Okay. Out. Yep. Oh no. Good job. And then there is, see if this follows me, there's treats up here. I've kind of already established that the counter is a no-go. Out. Yep. Good. The counter is a no-go place. But really, at the very first sign of interest, I'm going to remove him from that. Again, this is the situations that we're controlling, and we're just trying to get those repetitions of success. Out! No, out! Good. So that when we are in situations where you don't really have as much control, he already knows the routine. He knows the picture of what you're looking for. Franklin! Come. Good. Sir. Franklin, up. Good boy. Now, tangle. Down. No, down. Good. Stay. The other side of this is making sure that, down, making sure that we are setting him up for success, so we're not leaving things on the counter that he's going to be tempted by. And I feel like there was something like not, it's a sponge, I think is what I saw. It was like a sponge that he likes to steal. So right now, I would say to have your countertops, the things that he is kind of getting into, I would have those areas pretty bare. And that doesn't mean that has to be forever, but right now we want to eliminate those possibilities so they're not reinforced behaviors. Because if he's going up there and sniffing and he's finding something, even if it's something you're like, why would you want that? He does. If he's finding success and he's finding things that are of value up there, he's going to keep going up in it. If it's the other way around and every time he goes up there, there's nothing up there that he finds of interest, then eventually he's going to stop investigating. And then with all of this training, he's going to understand that he's not allowed to do that, period. For his off-leash training, we are doing e-collar training. He's doing super well with that. It's something where every time I give him a command, I'm pairing the e-collar with, or pairing that with a very low-level e-collar stim, something that he's just high enough to where he's aware of it, but not high enough to where he's needing to respond to it. So it's just kind of like he feels it and nothing more. There's no annoyance or anything like that. Every time he does the behavior, the stim then goes away. So he's learning that when he feels that, as soon as he does the thing that I'm asking, that is what removes that stim. So that's what removes that sensation and annoyance. So that way, when we do get into a little bit more advanced situations where I'm saying, hey, come, or whatever the behavior is, and he doesn't want to because he's motivated elsewhere, when I apply the e-collar stim, he knows what that information is and how to turn it off. So maybe if it's at a level that I have to compete with those motivators, it's a little bit higher because he's invested in other things. It's not something that's just like fear-based or like I'm shocking you into submission. It's, oh, I have to listen, this is uncomfortable, I want to remove this. I know how to do it because of my previous training. So that is what we're doing right now, is we're just giving those repetitions in so he understands what the information means. He has e-collar right now. It is on, I haven't used it in this video, obviously. I'm mentioning it though because that is an option for counter surfing. Something that if it's those other techniques, methods, whatever, are not enough, we do have the e-collar there as a nice little backup to create an unpleasant sensation in counter surfing. So I'll use a story for me with my dog, my Pitty Mix. When we a couple years ago, we were getting new furniture. My dog has always been allowed on the couch. We just didn't care. It wasn't a big deal. Her furniture was old and raggedy, so we didn't mind it. We got new furniture. My husband said, I don't want him on the furniture anymore. Obviously, he's been allowed. That's like a random thing to just introduce, and it's very confusing for the dog. So while we were there, it was very heavily enforced. You're not allowed on the couch at all, and he respected that. But as soon as we leave, we knew that he was getting on the couch because we'd come and find those like little jewel stains and things like that. So a lot of methods didn't work. Like we put tin foil on the couch. None of that stuff worked. So, well, no, down. I know I'm bringing you. Down. Nope. Down. Down. Very good. All the way. Down. Good man. So what we did was we had his e-collar on, we FaceTimed each other, and then we put one of the phones on the TV stand facing the couch, and then we left with the other phone. We left, we pretended to leave, we kind of just went out to the driveway to where he thought that we were gone. As soon as We left, he went to go climb up on the couch. So as soon as he walked over to the couch, we gave an e-collar stim at a level that was kind of like, I don't like that, but not enough to where it was aversive enough to make him like any residual fear or scaredness of the couch or anything like that. Just was like, oh, okay, we'll touch that again. So the reason that we did that is because us being there was one picture of you can't be on the couch, but when we're gone, there's no one there to enforce that he's not on the couch. So he's mischievous and said, I don't want to get on the couch, and they're not here to tell me I can't. So this, us not being there and the correction of not getting up on the couch still happened was a huge thing for him to understand. All across the board, I'm just not allowed on the furniture. So with counter surfing, the same situation happened where technology these days, you can just FaceTime each other and set them up. Like maybe leave something off to the back, something that smells good, and then leave. And then if he goes to sniff the counter, just a light stim. And again, it doesn't need to be a fear of God correction, just enough where he was like stops and feels it. He's like, oh, this thing's up. But it's not paired with you. It's the act of investigating the counter causes a correction. So it's not paired with you. It happens regardless of if you're there or not. He is not allowed to get up on the furniture, the counter, or whatever. Also, things that I've been doing with him that I think would be beneficial to you. I don't remember if I put this in the other video or not. Nope. I know you want to do other things. Come here, sit. One, following through. If you ask him to do something, sit. Good. Down. All the way. Down. You big doodle. Stay. Following through, making sure that if you ask him to do something, just follow through with it. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world that he broke his stay. And in this situation, it certainly doesn't really matter. But I want him to understand that when I tell him to stay, that he should do it for safety of maybe a situation where it does matter. So, okay. Good man. Respecting thresholds. That is something that I always push for people during training. It's something to kind of integrate at home. Nope. Most dogs are pushy and they're just kind of unaware of their surroundings, their space. They're just living their best lives, just living in the moment. So I like to have dogs wait at thresholds to be invited there. I think it's a really easy thing to implement at home right now before we actually go over things on a more nitty-gritty. So when you walk them up to a door, ask him to, at the very least, I usually just say stay or wait, whichever. Even if he doesn't sit, we want him to just wait. If he crowds the door, I'm going to move into him to use my spatial pressure to move him back away from the door, just to respect my space. And then I want to be able to open the door and walk through, and then, okay, you can come through. So hopefully this follows me again. So this lovely door right here. Oh, he wants to water bowl. So let's see if he crowds the door. Good. Wait. So I want to open the door. If he breaks his stay or he breaks his sit or whatever, I just simply close the door again. Good. Okay. Very nice. No. Good. Wait. Okay. Very good. If he gets in the habit of when you okay him through the door, he kind of like barges through and rushes to the other side. Something else you can take it a step further. Instead of just okaying him, recall him to you through the door and then put him in a sit on the other side. So I'll demonstrate that as well. No. Pick it up. Good. Wait. So instead of just releasing him, Franklin, come. Sit. Good. Come. Sit. Good. Okay. Very good. So it's just breaking up. Sir. The out. No, out. Yeah. There we go. Breaking up the, what's the word I want to use? Like the anticipation of going through the door. Like he gets right here at the door and then he's sitting there. He's like, oh, any minute now I can run through the door. So it is, instead of allowing that mentality to set in, it's saying, hey, there's an extra step to this. And then you can even go right back into a heel. Out. Very good. Becky's doing really good. We'll have to, nope. Out. Set up soon. put his final lesson together, all of us together. Oh my gosh, excuse you, on camera, you're burping? Rude. I don't know, that totally took my train of thought away. But he's doing really great. We'll schedule something soon to kind of go over everything in person. All right, go in. I don't know,